Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be decluttering my Complexion products. I'm going to be going through all of my concealers, my powders, my foundations, as well as my bronzers, highlighters, and blushes. My last couple declutters, I went through my entire collection. I'm splitting it up today because I feel like I have a bigger job on my hands, as you will see very shortly. So these videos tend to be on the longer side, so I'm just going to go right into it. So before we do so, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to decluttering. I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of the drawers I'm going to be tackling today. So in this one, I have a bunch of new products that I have not tried yet, so I won't be touching that section. Neither will I be touching this here, but I have hair accessories, sponges, and then I have like scissors, eyelash curlers, like just random stuff I need in my office. But I will be going through my brow stuff, my setting sprays, my powders, and they kind of continue over there as well. This is my daily skincare, and then over here I have foundations, and they kind of continue in the back there. And then I have primers and concealers, and this section just looks really messy, and I just hate it. And this is the other drawer I'm going to be tackling today. So this one holds my bronzers, which needs some serious organization. I have some blushes, more blushes, and my little highlighter section. And if you're not seeing something and you're wondering where it is, it's probably in my roundup bin. I keep everything out that I tried out this month just so I know where it is and so that it doesn't get lost in this mess. And over here in my closet, this is where I like to put product for video. So I have a full face of Charlotte Tilbury in the works. I'm just going to take a pause on that just because I feel like I've been doing a lot of one brand tutorials, so I'm just going to let that rest for a little bit. And I have a majority of my skin tints in here because I'm still working on my skin tint video. And my curtains are like this because of this. They like to play in them. Hi! Okay, I'm going to start with the easier bin. So this one has my setting sprays and my powders and my skincare here, which I'm not going to be touching this. It's nicely organized. So I think I'm going to go on with powders first. Let's start off with some obvious keeps, the Pat McGrath powders. I have to say that these are my top favorite powders. This is the under eye one that I love and occasionally use all over my face if I feel like treating myself. It's just a glorious powder. It just works with any concealer and it's flawless every time. It's lightweight. It's just the best under eye powder out there. And here is the Pat McGrath loose. This is my favorite loose powder. It's just also very lightweight and blurring, non-tightening or drying. It's just incredible. I am going to be letting go of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus translucent powder. I'm just not a fan of this one and I just never reach for it, so it's just taking up space in my collection. This one's a newer one to my collection. I really like this one. This is the LYS powder. I just really like how it looks all over the face. Even under the eyes, it's really nice, and I like how it kind of brightens at the same time without adding any coverage or anything. It's just a gorgeous powder, and I've been really enjoying my experience with it this far. This is the Kosas Cloud Set, another one of my favorites. I've made quite a dent in it for how little time I've had this in my collection. It's a very beautiful powder. I like how it adds a subtle layer of coverage, just softens everything. It's just gorgeous. Probably the most blurring powder I have in my collection. Ultra lightweight as well, and it also doesn't mattify my entire face. It just adds a subtle glow that I just can't get enough of. This is a great powder. This is the Dior Face and Body Powder No Powder. I really loved it the first couple of times, but as you can see here, hopefully, it's hard panned quite a bit and it continues to do so. Sometimes that happens if I'm setting a dewier foundation and it gets on my brush a little bit and then I'll dip back into the powder and that will kind of happen. But this has happened every time I've used this, which is really sad because it is a gorgeous powder. I think it's just too pressed in this component, so it leads to a lot of hard panning and you're not able to pick up enough product. So I think I'm going to let this one go. Although I do love the powder, it's just I never reach for it because it always causes me issues. I don't want to make excuses, but it's just not a good time. This one is a classic. It's the Milk Makeup Setting Powder. I will be keeping this one around. I like to use it time to time. I do prefer the Pat McGrath Labs one over this one, but I still enjoy this one's presence nonetheless. So I'm going to keep it. And the last two powders I'm also going to keep. This usually lives in my purse, but my purse is too small for this right now. But this is like a blotting powder. So it's perfect to have if I start getting oily out and about, you know. And this one took me by surprise. This is one that I didn't really enjoy at first, but I find myself reaching for it for the days that I kind of need to dehydrate my makeup in a sense. I know that kind of sounds weird. It really sets my makeup, sets it down, and I feel like it helps with longevity. Although I find it to be a little bit tightening and dehydrating, I feel like I need to have one on hand for the sweaty days. Let's get these sprays. I don't think I'm going to be decluttering much from this section, honestly. So I have the e.l.f. Jen Atkin one. I really like this one. It smells like coconuts and it just does a good job. This is the JULIAA one. Oh, actually, I thought this was the Rare Beauty one. I don't know. I thought the packaging kind of looked similar. I'm gonna get rid of this JULIAA one. I'm not a fan of the scent. It smells like rotten lavender. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I've been really enjoying the Professional Super Setter, especially for the days that I want to really set my makeup. And the mist is really, really nice and fine and it feels delightful. I'm gonna keep that one. This is the NYX Dewy Finish as well as the Matte Finish. I'm going to keep both of them. I think they're fantastic sprays. This is a Fix Plus. This is one that actually has like bronze sparkles running through it. It's really, really pretty. I always like to have a Fix Plus on hand. It's a classic and it always fixes my makeup when it's looking too dry or not the way I want it. It's just a miracle fix. This is my favorite setting spray of all time for longevity, the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. It's fantastic. The spritz is beautiful. I think the packaging is really fun. It's a beautiful colored liquid. It just does a really great job. This is the one I'll reach for, especially for the days I'm going out and hitting the town. It's just one that really locks it in. Same with the Charlotte Tilbury one here. It's not here because it's put aside with the Charlotte Tilbury full face box. This is the Rare Beauty one. This is one that I kind of compare to Fix Plus in a sense, that it just rehydrates my makeup and just makes it look good when it's looking dry. And it's also very therapeutic, I find. Like, it smells really nice. It just gives like a spa experience and it's a lovely spritz. Love this one. This is the Tower 28 SOS spray. I would actually consider this one skincare. It's right next to my skincare one. I like to apply this in the morning right before I apply my other skincare. I feel like it fights off acne really, really well. This is just a mini version, but once I empty this one, I'm for sure going to buy the big version. I think this has been a big help in my skincare journey. And this year I have like a couple spritzes left, but this is the Lila B A Glow Face Mist, a stunning one. I find this one has gotten too dewy for my liking though, but I'm going to use the rest of it, of course, because I only have like one more use out of it. But after that, I don't think I'd repurchase it. So didn't do much in this section. And here we are, first bin all done. I think before I go on to my problem bin, I'm just gonna hit my brow stuff quickly. I'm going to time lapse this, and if I get rid of anything, I'll go over the reasons why. By the way, in this tin, I keep my Pear soap for soap brows. These are the only things I'm getting rid of in my brow section. These three items here are the wrong color and these are old as the hills. It's time to dive into my base bin. I don't know where I should start. Maybe concealers? First up are the Fenty Beauty Bright Fixes. I'm going to be keeping all three shades. I've been using all three shades. I love this stuff, so this is a keep. I have various color correctors in this section. So I have the new NARS one, the Becca one, Bobbi Brown, and Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to be keeping all four, but I'm going to see if I can fit this in a different section because this type of packaging just messes up the classic concealer packaging. I also stored my eyeshadow primers here. I think I'm going to find a different section for these as well. I just want this to be solely concealers. I feel like that makes the most sense. And I'm also going to retire this Fenty Beauty eye primer. I've been scraping the sides of that one for a long, long time, and I bought a new one not too long ago. So here we are, fresh one, out with the old and with the new. I have two shades in the Bare Minerals Original Concealer. I've been reaching for this one quite a bit more recently, and that's just because of Mariah Leonard. She loves this stuff, so I've been trying it out again and enjoying it, so I'm going to keep both shades. I have 4 shades in the Pat McGrath concealers. I'm going to be keeping all 4 as well. I like to mix them, and I have colors for every season. I'll also be keeping the Fenty Beauty concealer. Been really enjoying this one. I have a mini and a full-size version of the NARS concealer, and I'm just going to keep the large one because this one's too light for my skin tone. I also have 2 colors in the Quo Beauty concealers. I use these quite often, so I'm going to keep them. This is the Josie Maran Vibrancy. Going to be keeping this one. Love that concealer as well. These are the last ones I have. I have 2 shades in the Rare Beauty one. I use both shades, so I'm going to keep that. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I really enjoy this stuff as well. I have the Kosas Revealer Concealer. You guys know all about this stuff. I adore it. And this one I am feeling iffy about as a concealer. I want to see how this goes as a full-on base because under the eyes this is a super creaser, but we'll see. I'm just going to leave it here for now. Now I'm going to go through my primer section here. This is the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Bronzing Essence. I tried to use this recently, but I think it's gone bad because it's gotten really gloopy. Yeah, you can even see it's like it creates worms in the tube, so I need to incinerate this. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer Serum. I used to really enjoy this stuff, but over time I found that it's very picky with foundations. It works amazingly with some and horribly with others, and it tends to pill a lot, and I just don't reach for it because I feel like I can't trust it. So I'm gonna just get rid of it. I just have not reached for it in a while. I have 2 shades of the Auric Glow Lust. I have Pyrite and Selenite. I'm going to be keeping both of these. These are stunning. I have 2 shades in the Becca Light Shifter doing tints, so I'm going to be keeping these as well. The Hollywood Flawless Filter has not left my collection. Again, it's with my Charlotte Tilbury full face bin. I have the Glossier Future Dew. I love reaching for this in the winter time. This I'm going to get rid of. This is the Huda Beauty Glowish Multi Dew. I find that it's pretty as a highlighter, but I just don't reach for it enough. I don't like it under foundation. I find that it just isn't impactful enough for an underneath foundation highlighter. I don't like it as a base because it looks too much like a highlighter that way as well, and the sheen inside of this is very metallic and it almost gives a robotic feel, and I just don't like those kind of glowy products, so I'm gonna let go of this. I really wanted to love this. I gave it so many chances, but I just don't like it still, so I'm gonna let it go. I have the Rare Beauty primers. I actually enjoy both of these. This is the blurring one. I like to reach for this if I feel like my pores are looking a little bit too high def that day and I just want to soften and silk it out. And this is a very beautiful glowy one. It adds like a glass-like sheen to your skin. It's stunning, and there's no visible pearls in it. It's just like glass skin in a bottle. This is my Milani Soft Focus Glow, and sadly this one has gotten bad. It's all chunky and kind of separated. I've had this for a really long time, so it makes sense, and it just doesn't smell the way it's supposed to anymore. So I think it's time to let this one go. I hope they still sell this one. I remember the last time I used it, a bunch of people were saying that this has been getting phased out, which is heartbreaking, but I'm gonna have to research this after. I hope that's not true because this is one of my favorite complexion enhancers. I have 2 of the putty primers from e.l.f. I have the poreless one and the acne fighting one. I did swatch them on the back of my hand. I was just seeing if the acne fighting one was the same as this one with salicylic acid, but I think they're different. The poreless one is definitely a lot more blurring and pore filling, and the acne one is just like a nice softening one. So I'm gonna keep both. And another one I have in here is the MAC Strobe Cream, which is such a classic. I'm going to be keeping it. I have the shade Gold Light. And my last primer is the Milk Hydro Grip. This just keeps my makeup intact all day, so I'm gonna be keeping that one as well. Now let's get on to the moment I've been dreading, my foundations. These 2 beside kind of look like boobies. I'm going to be keeping both of these. This is the M Cosmetics Cushion Foundation, or Tinted SPF rather. I have 2 shades of the S Clean Foundation. I'm just going to be keeping number 7. This one, number 9, just doesn't work for me. It turns out too pink on me. This is a newer one to my collection and I've been loving them. These are the LYS foundations and I have 2 shades, MN1 and MN3. They both work for me. I'll be keeping both of the shades. Same for the Milani Screen Queen. I'm going to be keeping both of these colors. I thought I had 3. Maybe I'm just crazy. Love them. I also have 2 shades in the Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer from NARS. Love this one as well. I'll be keeping both colors. I also have 2 shades in the Quo Beauty foundation. This is the only one that works out for me, so I'm going to be keeping that one. This one is too pink and peachy. I also have 2 shades in the Intensive Skin Serum foundation from Bobbi Brown. I recently got a deeper shade for my summer skin, so I have a winter and a summer, so perfect. I have 2 shades in the Rare Beauty foundation. I'm just going to be keeping 190W. This one is too deep for me and too orange against my skin tone. It's 210N. I have the Gucci Beauty foundation, which isn't my favorite, but it's nice and I feel like I can't part with it right now. This one's going to come to a shock to most of you, but this one has expired. It creates those worms when I squirt it out. And also I'm kind of trying to distance myself from this foundation. I feel like I found better since and that are more inclusive, so I'm going to let go of the L'Essentiel from Guerlain. So that is the last time you'll probably be hearing me say that. I hear you in the comments, but it's time. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. I really like this one. So I'm going to keep that one around. I have 2 shades in the Pat McGrath foundation. This is a classic. So stunning. And I actually find this one to be very similar to the Luminous Silk from Giorgio Armani. This one just has maybe a little bit more glow and it's lighter weight. I believe one of you told me in the comments that she helped formulate this foundation with Armani, so that's really cool and I can tell. But anyways, I'm gonna be keeping all 4 of these. They're beautiful. This one is the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. Jamie actually got me this in our collab and I am going to let go of it because it's just too light of a color for my skin tone, but it is a beautiful foundation and I might pick it up in my proper color. It's just too light for me. And this is the NYX Total Control Pro Drop Foundation. I'm going to be keeping this one around. I've only used this one once. I used to love the non-pro version a couple years ago and I feel like I just need to give it a couple more goes before making up a decision. Kind of forgot about that one, not gonna lie. And the last 2 in here are no-brainers. The Glossier Skin Tint. I love mixing this in with other foundations to get it to be more lightweight or more dewy or whatever it may be. I don't think I need to say anything here. Fenty Beauty Eavesdrops, my #1 favorite right now. I feel like I didn't do a great job in this section, but don't yell at me. It needed organization. I also decided to put my eye primers in this section here. It just made sense, right? Face primers, eye primers. So I'm going to put the shades that suit me right here and the ones that are my winter colors I'm gonna put back here. This is way more manageable. I feel like it needed a good reshuffling. I feel like there's air in between the products. It looks a lot cleaner. Perfect. First drawer all complete. Okay, time to move on to the cheek products. So this section here actually sparked this whole video idea in the first place. This overwhelms me a lot, okay? I feel like I just have too much and it's too much. Starting off kind of easy, these are the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. I have 2 shades, Tan Lines and Bronze Belle. I'm just gonna keep both of them. This one is the Tarte Sea Breezy Bronzer. I have not used this in such a long time. I feel kind of undecided about this one. I might put this in the maybe pile. We'll see how things progress. This one is the Cover FX Duo, and it's honestly just too dark for me. Last declutter, I believe this was in the maybe pile. It's just so beautiful to look at. I can't get over it. I used to use this on the eyes all the time, but I just have not done that. So I think I'm finally going to let this one go. With that being said, I still have like 2 other blush versions of these. This one's just too deep and I never ever reach for it. I'm also going to be getting rid of this Dior one. I just have not reached for it in a really long time. I have a Huda Beauty Tan Tour here. I use the shade Fair. I get asked a lot, but I'm going to be keeping this. This is a classic in my collection. I cannot part. This is the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer, which I find to be kind of similar to the Huda Beauty one. It has like the same kind of texture. This one's just more air whipped in a sense. It's a beautiful formula. and I love the shade as well. It just naturally bronzes me and I just adore it. I have quite a few cream bronzers from Fenty. I have that one, Amber, which is the contour color. I've never used that one before yet, so I think I'll keep it. I want to give it a shot. This is Macchiato. This is my summer color. I think this one's going to be my most used one, Butter Biscuit. This is the one I purchased when they initially came out, and I recently got this when I did my full face of Fenty, and this has been the one that I've been reaching for out of all three, obviously, but I think I'm going to keep all three. Anyways. I really like this formula. The packaging gets really fingerprinty and it looks disgusting, but it's just my fingerprints. I can't help it. I'm human. I have the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. I'm going to let this one go. It kind of gets forgotten in my collection, and I just reach for other things over this one. I have two shades in the Gucci Beauty bronzer. Like, can you even handle this beautiful packaging? I cannot. I just love this packaging so much. It's so beautiful and luxurious looking. And same goes for the formulation inside here. I adore these bronzers. I have the shades 2 and 3. I have 3 shades in the Glowish bronzer. I adore these bronzers. They're beautiful. I'm actually just going to be keeping 2 medium because this one, number 3 Tan Light, is too deep for me. And it doesn't flatter me ever. It just always looks too much. And this one here, 1 Light, is way too light, and it basically is like a face powder for my skin tone. So this is the only one that works for me. I thought I had 2 shades in the e.l.f. powder bronzer, but I have Forever Sun-Kissed here. I love this one. I'm going to be keeping it. I have the infamous Tan Palette. This is a staple and favorite in my collection, I feel like, so I need to keep it. I have 2 shades in the Nabla bronzers. I love these ones. I think they give a really unique effect and finish, and they're really easy to work with. They're easy to diffuse. They're just stunning. I'm going to be keeping both. I have Ambra and Dune. I have a couple of the NARS ones in here, and I have to let some of them go. This is Vallarta. This is the one that works for me really well. I also have Laguna and Laguna Matte, and Laguna just does not work for my skin tone. I don't know. I don't like it against my skin tone for some reason. So I'm going to let them go. This is the Ilia bronzer. This one has been growing on me lately. It's not my favorite, but I do still enjoy it. I find it to be very reliable. It's just like a classic powder bronzer. You know what you expect when you go into this one. I have another Fenty bronzer. This one is the matte version though. This is In the Sun. Very well loved, as you can tell. So I'm gonna keep it. I have the Melt Cosmetics powder stack, and I actually really enjoy this. I haven't used these 2 shades. I always forget about them, but I want to try them on my eyes, but I use these 2 lighter shades quite often. This is the newest bronzer in here. It's the LYS one. It's stunning. I'm going to be keeping it. I have another collection staple of mine, the City bronzer from Maybelline. Love this one in the wintertime because it has like an olivey golden undertone to it, and it's very flattering when I'm paler. This is another one of my favorites. I actually find this formula to be very similar to the Melt Cosmetics stack. Very similar. It has like a very velvety texture. It feels moisturized. It's stunning. It blends beautifully. I just adore this one so much. The packaging is a pain in the ass though. This is the NARS Casino Cream Bronzer. I feel kind of undecided about this one as well. I really enjoy its undertone. I just sometimes feel like it's just way too deep for me, and like I said earlier, Laguna doesn't suit my skin tone, so maybe this one just does not really work for me. I only have a few left. Patrick Ta for Face Bronzer Duo. Keeping this. This is one of my favorites. This is another one of my favorites, the Kosas Bronzer. It's very natural, glow-giving, just all of the things I love. And the last one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, Sunset Striptease. I have that all memorized because this is all rubbed off. This is a gorgeous bronzer. Gives a very beautiful sun-kissed effect with a glow. It's just gorgeous. And now to revisit on these 2, I think I'm going to get rid of both, just because now looking at my other collection, I feel like I'd reach for all of the other creams over these ones. Wow. Look at this. This is amazing. This is so much better. I can see everything. Okay, now moving on to the last bin, and this is a ginormous bin that contains all of my blushes and highlighters. I think I'm going to start with highlighters. Gotta be honest, you guys, just prepping you guys. Hi, kitty. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of much in the blushes, which seems crazy because there's so much here. These are the Rare Beauty liquid highlighters. I'm going to be keeping all 3 shades. I like to wear them on their own, or I like to mix them up together. They're just really fun. I adore these. I recently uploaded my top favorite highlighters video, so you can see that if you want to see me go more in depth in some of these highlighters. So for this Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops, I feel like this is heavily expired, although it doesn't seem to be actually. I bought this like when it first launched. I feel like it looks nice, but it also is like really old and it's a liquid formula. I don't know. I want to keep it. Is it expired and gross? Doesn't look like it. Smells a little footy. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that yet. I'm gonna leave it to the side. I have the Terracotta Stick from Guerlain, which is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. It's very golden. I really like it still. I'm gonna keep that. This is the MAC Postmodernist Peach Highlight. This was limited edition, but I just love it too much to get rid of it. This is the Flower Beauty Day Glow Highlighting Glaze. I really like this for a balmy highlight. I'm gonna keep it. This one is another balm highlight. This is the Danessa Myricks Beauty one. I'm actually going to get rid of this highlighter just because it's very glittery. This one, you know it. Tropic Equinox from Kosas. Adore it. I have 2 shades in the M Cosmetics Cushion Highlighters, Halo and Aura. I'm going to be keeping both of them. This thing, I'm kind of undecided because I have to mix and match, and I find that it's a very thick formula, so I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I found that the formula, when you applied it very sheerly, it looked like the Ilia one, and I just would rather reach for the Ilia one over something I'd have to really work into the skin. I'm just gonna get rid of this quad. I just don't really see myself using it. It just doesn't get me excited. Speaking about Ilia, keeping. This is the Glossier Halo Scope that I used recently. I thought it looked nice in that video. I don't know how much I'll use it. It looked nice in that video, but realistically, I think it's too deep for the everyday. You can see like the undercast. I don't know. I think I'm gonna let this one go. I did purchase this color by mistake. I'm gonna get rid of it. I have the Nabla Skin Glazing. I love this highlighter. It's beautiful. I'm gonna keep this one. Fort de France from NARS. Also going to be keeping. This Vesca Beauty one, I think I'm going to let it go. I just don't use it ever. I find it to be a little bit too icy for my skin and too blinding. I just don't like the tone. I find it to be too light. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. I'm going to keep this one. Although I had a few off days with it, I feel like I've learned how to use it, and you just have to use a very tiny amount and it looks gorgeous. This is the Dior highlighter. I'm going to be keeping this one as well. And the last 2 I'm also going to be keeping. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow and the MAC Pearl Cream Color Base. I think I'm going to let this one go. Don't think I should be putting that on my face. I think once I reorganize the blushes, I'm going to put the Kosas Duo with the blushes. This is a little bit tight here. I think I'll take everything out of this section. I need to reorganize this one. Here is okay. I don't feel like taking it all out just to put it back in again. But I'm just going to go over the things I have in here. I have the Glossier Cloud Paints. I have the Quo Beauty blushes. I have a Say blush, which I really like. I have a Rare Beauty one. I have the NARS Luster blush. These ones here, I'm actually going to get rid of, the Iconic London ones. I find that they break up my makeup quite a bit and they also fade a ton. And they're very similar to the M Cosmetics Serum blushes, which I reach for more often. I also have the Flower Beauty blush bombs, but now I'm going to take this stuff out. I'm going to start off with my Melt Cosmetics ones. Oh no! These are their cream blushes. I know there's a few here that I just don't really use. Okay, so here are all the colors. I'm for sure gonna get rid of this one, Daydreamer. This one has glitter in it, which is too bad, but I just don't like it. Lynx is my #1 favorite out of them all. Then I would go this one, Sandy Cheeks. This one I'm going to get rid of as well, Polished. I don't know, I don't like it as much as the other ones here. But I think I'm going to keep the rest, which are Golden Hour, Cali Dream, and Honey Thief. I have the Tower 28 blushes here. Oh, why is that one so oily? What? Whoa, something weird is happening with this one. It's like the oil is separating and it doesn't smell right. That's Magic Hour. Ooh, I think this one has gone bad. I'm gonna get rid of that one. I wasn't planning on getting rid of any of these, but that one got weird. I got this one at the same time. I wonder if this one's weird too. Oh, it is. These are Clean Beauty, and I've had these for like a year and a half, maybe? I'm gonna get rid of the original 2, but I have these 3. I'm gonna keep the rest of the 3. I have some no-brainers here, the Patrick Ta blush duos, She's So LA and Do We Know Her. Just fantastic blushes. I have 2 shades in the Quo Beauty blushes. This one's my favorite out of the 2. Brown Sugar. This one I'm going to get rid of because like the color is very unflattering to me. It looks very bright on my hand. The swatch is beautiful, but when it's on my cheeks, it looks very chalky and just off. I have 3 shades in the Melting Blushes from Rare Beauty. I'm going to be keeping all 3, Nearly Rose, Nearly Neutral, and Nearly Apricot. I have 2 shades in the LYS blushes. I think I'm going to get rid of this berry one. I just don't really see myself using this kind of a color. I don't like mauvey colors on my cheeks. I just don't know. I never like it. I like them on my eyes and lips occasionally, but this one is where it's at. The shade Higher Standard. Gorgeous. Gorgeous pinky peach. This one, I adore the Wet n Wild Mellow Wine blush. Stunning color. Love this one. I have a couple of the Fenty ones in various fun shades. This one I have not used yet, but I think this is like too fun not to have in my collection. I don't know if I'll really use it, but I haven't tried it on my cheeks yet. It's like a cool Barbie pink-ish shade. I don't know. I want to see what it looks like. Pardon me, my camera died when I was talking about my Fenty Beauty ones. I think I was at Petal Poppin' before it died. But this is a cute color. It has like a golden sheen throughout it. I'm gonna keep that one. I haven't used that one on my cheeks yet. This one's my favorite. I've been using this one quite often. Rose Latte, just such a me color. And this one is kind of a brighter pink, which I haven't used yet, which actually it's a lot more sheer than the other one, so I'm gonna try that one out. I have the blush version of the monochromatic duos. I have the Soft Peach and Warm Honey. Love them. They're lovely, and I'm gonna keep them. I have 2 shades in the NARS Air Whipped matte blushes. This one's my favorite, shade Gasp, and this one is Hushed, which is a beautiful neutral soft pink shade. I just love them both. I have a Persona blush here, which I kind of forgot about. I think I'm going to let this one go. It's too brown, and it's not brown enough to be a bronzer. So it's just like a weird in-between color for me. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I have 2 shades in the MAC Glow Play blushes. I have So Natural and That's Peachy. I like both of these colors a lot, so I'm gonna keep them as well. This is another one of my favorite blushes, Always Rosy from e.l.f. It's a gorgeous color. I have 3 shades in the Heaven's Glow blushes from M Cosmetics. I will be keeping all 3 colors. This is Care Weiss Desired Glow, which is a gorgeous everyday. Oh no! Oh my god, I just kind of hit pan there. But this is a nice blush to gravitate towards on the everyday if I don't know what blush to pair with my look. And now I have 2 shades in the Bobbi Brown blushes. I have this melon one, Fresh Melon. It's really cute. The name fits it perfectly. It's so fresh. And this really pretty dusty pink color, which is Powder Pink. So cute. And I think this is a pretty much exact dupe of the Powder Pink one. No, this one's a little bit lighter, but this is from Honest Beauty, but it's quite similar. I'm gonna keep this one as well. Okay, so there we are. That fits a lot better. Nothing's on top of one another. And now my overflow of my blushes are now in here. So everything fits into one bin. Now I wanted to give you a final overview of the drawers. They look so much better. I see a huge difference. So that's the Complexion, and here is the cheek products. This is where I see the biggest difference. And here's an overview of the things I'm getting rid of today. Not too shabby. I still have to go through this and separate things that I can give to friends and family. The things that have expired, I'll try to recycle if I can, and so on and so forth. And in the next decluttering episode, we'll hit my lip products, my eyeshadow palette drawer, and my eye extra drawer with my singles, mascaras, eyeliners, and everything in between. That is all from me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's decluttering video. If you did, please give this video a like. It would help me out so very much. And I will see you all in my next one. Love you. Bye.